So, first of all, Patrick, thank you so much for your time, for being here with us, because I have no doubt, everybody wants to know how is to manage a school like Le Cordon Bleu outside of France. I think it's a huge challenge. What do you think is the biggest challenge to make the implementation of the school here in Brazil, for example?
Yes, it's a challenge because we have from Paris and London today, we have it's an international corporate in terms of academic, techniques, everything is coming from here. So we call it Le Cordon Bleu International. And we are following, wherever we go in the world, it could be in Australia, it could be in Tokyo, in Japan, it could be in Brazil, in Mexico. We are following the same programs, the same methodology.
All around the world.
All around the
world.
All around the world. What we have to understand is Cordon Bleu at the beginning was really a school for foreigners. It was not known in Paris, in France. It was more for people coming from outside. From Russian people was in 1907, so for Japanese was coming in 1905. So it was more a school of etiquette that cooking school. It was just for the person of the world to know a little bit of cuisine as they could know about music, etc. So it was at this time it was an educational for part of the society. The challenge is when we go outside of our own country, it's always a challenge, and you know that because you are traveling a lot,
yes,
to adapt to a culture. So we have to adapt Asia culture, Latin American culture, Anglo-Saxon culture. So it's a challenge, but at the end of the day, when you have all these tools, material from Le Cordon Bleu, from the academic part, from the technical part, well, it's not an easygoing. I don't want to tell you it's an easygoing, but at least you have the super basis, super manuals, super chart to set up in place, and to continue to make a follow-up to keep the quality. What we are looking for at Le Cordon Bleu, we are one of the best, okay, but you know, even one of the best, we have always to put in question, to always to be humble and to have this type of politic to keep the standard of quality by training the people.
I think it's a sign of youth and modernity. You are always keeping up with what is happening around the society. So you have a very traditional school, mm-hmm, teaching the very traditional French techniques, mm-hmm, of cooking, yeah, and you are going all around the world and growing. So you are adapting yourself as a methodology, mm-hmm, to keep up with the new media, whatever. So it's very interesting as a mentality, as a group. It's very interesting because you are doing all of this, yes, without losing your root, your personality,
your soul. The soul.
Yes.
L'âme, le cordon bleu.
Yes, this is very nice.
No, yes, thank you very much. The thing is, well, let's say we are, of course, as you know, we have some codification in cuisine, okay, in vocational, in terms of, and I was talking about Escoffier. Escoffier was the first French guy, chef, to be very clever, to make this codification under a book called Guide Culinaire, Guia Culinario in Espanol or Portuguese. And here you have all the techniques, the recipes, etc., making the patrimony of French cuisine, okay? And by that, we could, worldwide, be known and respected with this type of books and techniques. But now, what we have to consider, okay, Cordon Bleu is very traditional, very classical when the basic, and you know that. Intermediate level is more regional, but also more recipes, very difficult to, with some techniques, and superior is another level because we are giving the opportunity for the student in each of the country to work with their products, but to be creative and to make a specific recipe and personal recipes. So Le Cordon Bleu somewhere is making an intensive apprenticeship for students at Le Cordon Bleu for any programs, not only BIS but also Cordon Tech, to be able to go in a market if they want and become chef or sous-chef or chef quicker than anybody else because they have all the tools to carry out. Now, tradition doesn't mean conservatism, okay? Yes. And that's the Cordon Bleu. And again, with the leadership of Monsieur Cointreau, we had the opportunity, we had and have the opportunity to grow in another spirit. Another spirit means adaptation to the new trends, adaptation to the new society. Let's see, imagine 1895, Nouvelle Cuisine. After that, we had the cuisine from Hervétis. And now we have the new trends with sustainability, with no gluten, etc. So Cordon Bleu is completely following that. In the month of October, we are opening a plant-based program of 380 hours, corresponding to all this type of need of the people, need of the society. Because when you see the history of cuisine, you see all the evolution of the cuisine, but the evolution of the cuisine is done also with the evolution of the society. When you want to be a chef today, you have to cook, of course. You have to be good, but it's not only that. Today, it's just a part, the best part, but it's a part. You have to be a leader. You have to know how to speak with the people. You have to speak several languages. You have to know to make accounting. You have to know how writing, to make a menu, to speak in front of influencers, journalists, to speak in front of general managers.
What does it take to be a good chef? You have an amazing experience. Are you able to look at someone and say, this is a talent?
Oh yeah, in terms technically speaking, yes, it's a talent, but in attitude, I don't know. Okay. you know, it's today we are in a society where everything is sensible, so we have to be very careful. And attitude for me and all my life is maybe my education, but respect, attitude, civism are keywords for us to live in a society and worldwide. I'm not only talking in France or Brazil, I'm talking about everywhere in the world. So it's and this type of thing has to reflect in a chef profile for this guy to be a leader, but a good leader. You could be a leader yelling after the people, but you have to be a leader respecting everyone and trying to make the best. At the same time, to be a leader to get the results, because today results are very important. So yes, to get the results you need. Worldwide, you have a very interesting cuisine. Here in Brazil, the last program we did 1 year ago is a diploma of Brazilian cuisine. Why? When the Cordon Bleu is going somewhere in a country, and you have a lot of culinary, let's say, roots in this country, like in Brazil and in Mexico, like in Thailand, in Korea, and in Italy, in Spain, we are making a diploma of the food, of the art, culinary art of the country. So here we did the same thing as a diploma from Brazilian cuisine. So we have a 3 months basic, like for the diploma, to learn, to respect, that's very important, to respect the identity of the country, the products of the country, the techniques of the country, the region of Brazil, because you are so rich in terms of products and talents here in Brazil. It's amazing and it's very good. And Intermedia is making some recipes like we'll take the standard feijoada, okay, but to make something as a Cordon Bleu way, if I can say so. And after that, in Superior, it's a mixing, it's a fusion between French art and Brazilian talents, cuisine, products, presentation, technology, etc. So here we have the last diploma of country we did here is Brazil. So it's the last one we did in the Cordon Bleu, and before we met Japanese, Thailandese, etc. And even in Japan, the Japanese government recognizes le Cordon Bleu as a teacher of Japanese cuisine. And if you know Japanese guys, they are somewhere very conservative and protective in terms of their culture. But I think Le Cordon Bleu made a very good work, because they give the confidence to Le Cordon Bleu chef to be accredited by the Japanese government to deliver a program of Japanese cuisine.
So logistically speaking, because I really wanted to ask you about this, what is the hardest thing to manage a school like this one here in São Paulo? Products, people, what is the most difficult thing? And the most?
Let's speak about challenge.
Okay. Yes.
Challenging, no, we have challenge in Brazil. What is a challenge? Challenge is, yes, first of all, to understand the culture, understand the need of the new society, because we are really in a worldwide, in a big change, big move. Respecting our roots and fundamentals, at the same time adapting to the human beings. So human beings sometimes, it's not an easy going to understand a system, and if it's a system coming from outside of the country, and Brazil in particular, it's something that people have to understand and absorb. We are talking also about technology education and culinary education, so it's even another step to pass. So what we have to do is, in a worldwide, is not only in Brazil, but is to make a training, to make a very strong training.
To do the best with what you have.
To do the best with what we have. It's what we are looking for is for the new generation of chefs at Le Cordon Bleu to be Brazilian, like Paolo, and to grow with us, to be trained and grow with us. Because when the chefs are growing with us, they are acquiring the spirit of Le Cordon Bleu. Cordon Bleu, it's a full educational system, but bringing more than education. It's bringing a dream, is bringing a lot of expertise for the...
You are going to fulfill all the aspects of this education.
Exactly. So challenge are here. Challenge is, it's a daily basis challenge. It's not a challenge 3 months, 6 months. No, it's a daily basis challenges that we need to cover if we want for Le Cordon Bleu to keep the same value. Not in terms of value by the name. For me, the name is important, but value by what we are delivering, respecting our students. Because our students, at the end of the day, are the best ambassador. And if we are wrong with one student, we have a problem. So that's why we are trying to make the best.
And there is always something else to learn. As more I know, as more I study, more I think that I know anything about it, you know? Because there is always another way to do it. There is always a different technique. There is always something new that I have to learn, or that I tried in a different way. So it's so interesting regarding cooking. Everything regarding cooking is endless knowledge, because you are always going to teach me something. I can teach you something, regardless the level you are.
More I go in my life, and more I know that I don't know anything. Food is something, but you have wine. From culinary, you can open.
You can approach so many.
No, you approach all the world. You approach by wine. You approach by culture, how the people are eating, how they do to eat, etc. So it's more. Food is not only being in a cuisine. In the kitchen to have techniques or recipes is more than that. For me, it's the spirit of life, giving the opportunity not only to meet with people, but to understand what's going on.
And to get to know about the people as well. In the kitchen, you depend on so many other things other than just you.
Yes, of course. Yes,
if you are not co-oping with everybody, something is going to go wrong at a certain point. You know?
Exactly. So cuisine. Again, you have a lot of reason to make culinary arts. And I would like to add something about Cordon Bleu, because Cordon Bleu is not only vocational. Okay, vocational is because 1895, but for the last 35 years, Cordon Bleu developed programs for business management in culinary arts and gastronomy, for our students to get the chance and the opportunity not only to make or to cook or to make some good food or pastry, boulangerie or whatever, but also to be able to manage a business, or to be in a position in hotels as a food and beverage manager, general manager, or to open their own business, or to manage a lease, etc., in restaurants and catering or hotels. And we are delivering some bachelor degree, some MBA, some master degree, postgraduate programs, and in all the world. And we will be beginning next year with Anima, all around Brazil.
How do you manage to be traveling a lot the way you do? Is it hard? Because you're not doing this for a year. You were doing this for a while now.
Yes.
So how do you manage?
I was doing, because now I'm based in Brazil, because Brazil is I think a very, very important country to develop, and all the projects I'm talking about with the school keeping as the right consistency, all this type of extension to grow, plus Zalima. But before, years ago, yes, I was traveling a lot around the world to develop and to be ambassador of Le Cordon Bleu to open schools, and to be also in a field to open the schools. Imagine coming from not a family of cook or chef, no? Having this type of opportunity to work with Cordon Bleu and Monsieur Cointreau, to be very close, it was something that you cannot buy. You know, so you don't buy this type of experience. Food, again, culinary arts is more than recipes, techniques, etc. It's this type of message that we try to pass, and with a different profile of chef we have here. I mean, here and in other countries, as you said, the experience is different. You can have the standard basics, and one people will take another way to do it in the fastest way, or one other in a maybe longest way, but you have a better result. So our students, at the end of the day, they have to choose the best way they took by the expertise of the chef to reproduce when they are going out of the school. Alors, Cordon Bleu for me, it's the opening vocational culinary art and business management everywhere in the world for the people or students who want to get a success.